Hey guys, 1950 USA 5-center coin. Most nickels are, well, just nickels. The US Mint usually makes hundreds of millions of them every year. They're the workhorses of our pockets. But in 1950, something strange happened at the Denver Mint. While the Philadelphia Mint was churning out millions of coins, the Denver facility practically went silent. They produced a tiny fraction of the usual amount, creating a key date coin that sent the collecting world into a literal frenzy. Today, we're looking at the 1950 Jefferson Nickel. We'll talk about the massive hoarding scandal of the 1950s, why a perfect version of this coin can sell for thousands, and how a tiny letter D on the back of your coin changes everything. In the world of Jefferson nickels, which started in 1938, there is one year that stands above the rest. In 1950, the Philadelphia Mint struck about 9.8 million nickels. That's a low number, but not rare. However, the Denver Mint only struck 2,630,030 nickels. Why is this a big deal? To put that in perspective, the Mint often strikes over 1 billion nickels today. The 1950 D is the lowest mintage for a circulation strike Jefferson nickel in the history of the entire series. The great hoarding, word got out quickly in 1950 that the Denver mintage was tiny. Collectors and speculators didn't just save a few, they bought entire bags. People were hoarding 1950 D nickels by the thousands. Because so many were saved in uncirculated condition, it created a weird paradox. It is actually harder to find a heavily worn, circulated 1950 D than a shiny, mint condition one. But don't let that fool you. The high-grade versions are where the real money is. If you find a 1950 nickel, the first thing you have to do is check the reverse or the back of the coin. Look at Monticello, look to the right of the building, near the rim. The D mark, if you see a small d, you've hit the jackpot. This indicates the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia version, if there is no letter there, it's a Philadelphia strike. While still a lower mintage coin, it's nowhere near as valuable as its Denver sibling. If you want the big money, you need to look at the steps of Monticello on the back. In the minting process, the steps are the hardest part to strike clearly. A 1950 D with full steps is the holy grail for Jefferson collectors. So, what is your 1950 nickel actually worth? Let's break down the current market prices for both varieties. Variety circulated. As you can see, even a beat-up 1950 D is worth hundreds of times its face value. But if you find one that looks like it just came off the press, and those steps are crisp, you're looking at a car payment or more. We can't talk about 1950 without mentioning the 1950 was the first year the Mint resumed proof set production after World War II. They only made 51,386 proof nickels. These weren't meant for circulation, they were sold in sets to collectors. They have a mirror-like finish and a very sharp strike. If you find one of these in an old collection, they typically sell for 40 to 80, but cameo versions can go for much higher. The 1950 D Jefferson nickel is a classic piece of Americana. It represents a time when the whole country seemed to be looking at their change, trying to find that one rare Denver coin. Even though millions were hoarded, they still pop up in estate sales, old jars, and occasionally, even in modern pocket change because someone didn't know what they had. If you're at a coin show or a shop, look for unsearched rolls of nickels from the 50s. The dream of finding that elusive D is still alive.